And are you refreshed?
Yes.
Yes. And are you ready to continue?
Yes.
And are you ready to continue?
I am.
Bring us back round to where we are.
We were talking about subconscious and whether or not we create with subconscious thought. And the last thing we talked about was you gave an example of a woman with arthritis. And I understand to not focus on that. You know, if you want to get rid of it, to not focus on it. But the last thing I asked was, well, what about when the arthritis first showed up? Sometimes it seems to me we get things that we aren't thinking about. And I've listened to your teachings on that, and I'm not in alignment with it yet, so I'm asking for help with that. And I have a specific problem myself that probably is a good example, where I have sinus drainage, and it happened very suddenly. On just one day it was there, and it's never left. And I understand that we create illness. We're energetic beings, and illness is about energy blockages. And so when we create something like this problem I have, I've tried to explore what emotion or what might be causing the energy block, and I just haven't been able to put my finger on it. So it seems to me that it's something subconscious that I'm not aware of that's causing it. So.
Well, let's go along with your terminology for just a little bit, and let's define subconscious in the way we think you mean it, which means I'm doing something I'm not conscious of.
Mm-hmm. That's
fair enough?
Yes.
So if I'm doing something that I'm not conscious of, what we want to say to you is, we want you to get conscious of what you're doing. We want
I do too.
We want you to be sensitive to the way you feel, which is your indicator of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So we understand what you're getting at. When you try to identify what thoughts you've been thinking or what thoughts might lead to some response or reaction, it can be a bit overwhelming because there are so many thoughts on so many subjects that are moving through your experience. So that's why we are making an effort to help you understand that rather than monitoring thoughts or even trying to control thoughts, if you will set your vibrational tone by looking for the emotional feeling place. And you do that by making an association between what you're thinking and how you're feeling. And when you decide that it matters to you very much that you feel good, and you start then and only then, in other words, you will not start noticing that you're not feeling great until you decide that it's important that you do feel great. So once you make a decision that it's important to you how you feel, then you will begin to make that very important association between what you're thinking and feeling. And then the more you do that, the more you will be able to fine-tune your awareness so that you will be able to recognize that.
And I'm moving into that place more and more on a daily basis where I notice that I'm feeling something and I get control of it.
It's very helpful when you say things like that, because what you're saying is, I now understand that I create my own reality. Mm-hmm. And I now understand that I am offering a vibration. And now I'm beginning to understand that my emotions will give me a reading on the vibration that I'm offering. And now what we're saying to you that we think is new to your ears in these hours that have just happened yesterday is we want you to understand that the way that your emotions work and the reason that your emotions are able to give you the significant and precise feedback that they give you is because of the vibrational relativity points between what you really want, which may be unconscious to you, and where you are, which may be unconscious to you. So let's talk about that. So you're moving through your days and someone is rude to you, and so you, without even having conscious awareness of it, let's say, you offer a vibration, a rocket of desire that says, I would like to be treated better. And Source hears that and agrees with it. So that becomes factored in to your 1 point of vibrational relativity. And then you don't have enough money, so you want more money. And then you get bogged down in traffic and you want to find clearer routes. And on and on and on it goes all day, every day. You are contributing to this 1 point of vibrational relativity. And then, in any point in time, you are offering a vibration because of something that you are giving your attention to. You might be offering your vibration because you're watching a movie. You might be offering your vibration because you're remembering something someone said to you. You might be offering your vibration because of something you're thinking about saying or because of something you're doing. It could be something you're observing in your present or remembering from your past or imagining in your future, but something that you're focused on right now has got you activating a vibration. And now your guidance system is responding to this always active vibration, which you are continually amending, but which is backed up with the energy of source, with the energy that creates worlds. In other words, who you really are is pulsing powerfully within you, whether you are conscious of it or not. And what you are thinking about right now is pulsing powerfully within you, whether you are conscious of it or not. So what we are suggesting is, since all of this vibrational stuff is happening, there is an emotional response that's giving you the reading of that, and the closer your right now in the moment thoughts are to who you really are and what you really want, then the better you feel. And the further those thoughts are vibrationally, then the worse you feel. So when you begin saying, I care how I feel because how I feel is my indication of my alignment, of my energy balance, of my allowing. There's allowing and resisting. Allowing and resisting of what? Of the source who is in agreement with all that I have personally concluded as I've moved through the contrast that I prefer or desire to live in this physical life experience. So that's why we sort of gave you a hard time yesterday, because we really wanted to lay a significant groundwork here. We want you to leave this gathering, if nothing else, admitting consciously to yourself that I can tell by the way I feel how I'm doing on this emotional scale, how I'm doing in this vibrational relativity. And then we're going to say something to you that most don't like very much, but we like to say it anyway, and that is, it really doesn't matter what thoughts you've been thinking or even what thoughts you might think today. The thing that really matters is your awareness of your emotional guidance system and your awareness of, if I'm walking toward, through my conversation, through my contemplation, through my musing, if I'm walking toward vibrationally something that matches who I am, then every step in that direction feels like an improvement. In other words, every step you take toward vibrational alignment with who you are feels like the release of resistance. So it's relief, 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 or better and better and better and better feeling.
So in those moments when you are in alignment and you're feeling good, is there all those things like the problem I just mentioned I have, are they being corrected?
They are.
That 99.99% being done without manifesting.
That's what we were saying yesterday when we were talking about Jerry and Esther traveling from Phoenix to San Diego. And the majority of that 400 miles, they're not in San Diego where they want to be. But they are happily moving in the direction of that, knowing that the manifestation will be there. And we want you to think in terms that when you are happily moving along, you are moving in the direction of what you are wanting, and the manifestation will be there. But here's the thing that we really want you to hear, and this is the making peace with where I am part. If you are happily moving along to where you are, then you're not at the same time noticing that you're not where you want to be. What I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. What I'm thinking and therefore what I'm feeling in response to what I'm thinking, and what manifests is always a vibrational match.